movies for black girl nerds.
Hi, Jim.
Very
How are
nice to meet
you?
you. Yeah.
So nice to meet you. I've been a
Yeah.
fan for a long time. So
Looks like you're trying
this
to get between two the scuffle there.
yeah,
Break up,
exactly. We're
break
trying
those
to
two
get
up.
them to shake
Nice.
hands and get it
Yeah,
together.
that's right.
So Jim, you play Dr. Robotnik. Tell us one thing that you love about Dr. Robotnik.
I love playing something that's so off the hook, out of control in his ego, that it becomes funny. I think that, playing smart is funny because most of us think we're smart, but we're not that smart. And I love that this is a way of laughing at ego, and also there was just so much to do. There was so far to go once I got a hold of the green emerald energy that I could control the elements and I could, play in the quantum field. And I would call the director in the middle of the night and say, I'm going to speak like a synthesizer tomorrow.
Yes.
And he'd go, okay, like that.
Like, hey, we'll do it, and it works. I love
Yeah.
it. Just kind of goes ham, and it's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you have a very interesting relationship with Stone.
Yeah.
And it's very funny because, you think, oh, he's just a lackey. But really, I think there might be a little bit of affection there. Can you tell us what you think is at the heart of their relationship?
Robotnik would never give it up. He would never admit that he needs Stone and he loves Stone,
Mhm.
and that he would be lost without Stone. But it's really true.
Mhm.
Stone is the last vestige of humanity in Robotnik, his attachment to Stone. Although, Robotnik only has transactional relationships,
Mm.
but I think, just the fact that he tried to carve Stone's face into a rock says a little something.
Mhm.
He wasn't carving George Washington. You know what I
Right.
mean? He was carving Stone into that rock. So yeah, I think there is a little bit of love there.
I think it's very telling, and
Yeah.
the way that they interact is just so funny and
Absolutely.
very
Lee
sweet.
Majdub is absolutely wonderful to work with. And
Oh,
he's
wonderful.
such a game guy. And he's so much fun to play with. And his last name means royal cannabis.
Ooh.
No,
Oh,
it doesn't.
okay.
No.
I was like, wait a minute. Well, so
Majdub.
that's great.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, so I played Sonic growing up, and this movie is just a 90s kid's dream.
Sure.
But I was wondering, would you ever be interested in a Robotnik origin story? And do you think he has humble roots? What's his deal?
I think someone took his toys away. Definitely. Someone took his toys away. There's tragedy there. And there's neglect, and there's abuse, and there's probably some sort of institutionalization and
Mm.
all kinds of things that could turn a person, and
Lots of bullying at boarding school kind of thing.
yeah, whatever. Yeah. Orphanages and whatever, that a person could be subjected to, that at a certain point, if the conditions are right, they either go one way or the other,
Mhm.
and he went the third way,
Right.
which is world domination.
Straight down.
Yeah, straight down. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Jim, for taking time to talk with me
It's a
about the
pleasure.
movie. And
It's
I
a
can't
pleasure.
wait for more people to see it. You're
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thanks so much.
I am so excited to be speaking with you ladies today. This movie has so much black girl magic, and I'm dying. I was living in the theater just watching it. So starting with you, Natasha, I know last movie you were kind of tied up,
Yes,
literally,
yes.
literally, and this movie you really got to kick butt and take names. Tell us about how that was.
I mean, I was so excited to see the script, just to see the journey that Rachel goes on. She's, her wedding day, the big day is here. And to be able to watch her transform from a bride-to-be to an action hero. And not only that, she's like with her sister and they're both out there kicking butt and taking names. It was just awesome. I love movies and roles that subvert expectations. And so to be able to show us as not damsels in distress that need to be saved, but the ones that can take charge and take action was so cool.
Well, that was a big part that I really enjoyed, because even though we have Tom as the sheriff, we still have Maddie as the one who's like, look, do this, go here, we got this, we got this. Tika, tell us about kind of how that felt for you.
It felt incredible to, again, like Natasha said, have agency and to be ride or die again with my sister. Even if we, have disagreements, we still love each other deeply, and that it's beyond the boys, right? And that we're taking action without anybody telling us what to do, but figuring it out. And I think women in general need to see stuff like that, and hopefully it is expanded upon.
Well, I love that, especially Rachel's character. Like, you are wearing that dress, girl, but she's still running and still getting it done. I adored it. Now, I want to talk about the Shamar more of it all, because that was a welcome surprise. Tell us.
It was really tough looking at him. It was really hard. I mean, he's hard to look at. I still struggle with the fact that I had, no, I'm kidding. It was so wonderful to do this with him. And I think people are going to be surprised by how funny he is. I feel like the roles that he plays, he doesn't necessarily get to do the hard comedy. And I feel like he plays such a great straight man to all of, Rachel's blows, and it was just a treat, I may or may not have had a calendar of him when I was 16 on my wall. No big deal.
I'll keep your secret.
So manifesting that in some way, I think.
I love that. One thing I noticed, especially with the inclusion of Shamar, and then we have, Idris being the voice of Knuckles, there was so much effortless diversity. That's kind of my thing. I love effortless diversity. Yes. I love when you can see people of color who are people of color and it makes sense. How did you feel? Like, was that something that you even noticed when it kind of came around, or how did that feel to kind of be on a set like that?
It's so crazy because I don't think they thought, I have to go back to when we did the first, they asked me to come and read for this with James Marsden, and I was like at this huge table of executives, and it was like, they weren't even, there was no question of like, oh, she's Black, and this is before like the whole, what is it? Renaissance happened of like inclusion. This was before that. They just were like, she's a great actress. Let's bring her in and read it and see if we like it. And it wasn't, they never, I don't think if they thought of it like that. They just wanted somebody who was great at the part. And so I was grateful that I wasn't treated as this kind of like, this like puppy of like distress, like, please put me in your movie kind of thing. And the way they wrote us was as women, right? Yeah. And as full-fledged characters. So I also love when it's not forced. Yes. And when it's not like, let's put somebody in here for the count. Yeah. It was just one of those things that like, let's get this person. He's really good. Natasha Rothwell, genius, comedy, like everything. And my sister, which I was screaming about when in the first one. And then it's just like, that's the way it worked. And I feel like the whole team is more about making a great film with great actors. And I love that.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think I have like two lenses, right? As an actor and as a writer. And for me, when otherness, and I mean otherness, when it's juxtaposed to sort of the heteronormative homogeny that we're used to, when otherness is a plot point, it takes away, where you're just like, oh, we have to justify their humanity before they're actually allowed to have story. Yep. And the brilliant thing about this movie is that we're given story from the jump. We are in the seat. And we are who we are. We're unapologetically Black women in the film, and we get to do stuff. We get to do fun stuff.
And not explaining why.
Yeah.
Right. It was an absolute blast. I thank you guys so much for talking to us about it, and I can't wait for more people to see the movie.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, Stacey.
Hi, guys. I love this movie. It was so fun.
Oh, thank you very much.
I had just watched the first one. I don't know how I missed it the first time, but I just watched the first one. So I was really excited to watch this one. And I feel like it kind of just brings home the point of family even more. And starting with you, James, as a father, how do you think that that informed your relationship, the kind of father-son relationship you have with Sonic?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm glad that it was something that it was in my wheelhouse. It's one of the things that, if not the most important thing that I'm most proud of, is being a father and my 3 wonderful kids who teach as much as, they teach me as much as I teach them. And to get to sort of share that dynamic with Ben this time around. The first movie, as you saw recently, you had a whole lot of Sonic going from the first movie then to the second movie right away. We were more buddies the first time around, and this time it's sort of evolved. That dynamic's evolved to more of a father-son relationship, and we had long conversations, me and Jeff Fowler, the director, about, okay, in this scene, on this rowboat, what do you tell your kid when he wants to go and sneak out and he wants to do this? And especially with Sonic, he's got all these superpowers. He wants to do good. He wants to, bring that good to the world. What do you tell him? What conversation do you have that they're going to actually absorb and listen to, right? Because a lot of times with kids, it's in one ear and out the other. But what's going to really land on them? Just be succinct. Be calm, be patient with them, and be loving. And so I'm so happy that you see that part of it. Like it is family. It's about connection. It's about feeling welcome no matter who you are and loved. And I think Sonic this time around's got some new pals in Tails and a new adversary in Knuckles. And so he's getting his next phase and next chapter of his life.
Well, one thing I really liked about it, I actually got to speak with Sonic a little bit earlier, and he insisted I call him the Blue Justice.
Oh, okay. How is he, by the way? Is he good?
He's doing really great. He's
Good.
super excited for everyone to see the film, so
I bet he is.
he's on it.
I remember when he recorded those messages, he was really excited.
Well, so he wanted to be the Blue Justice, and I was wondering, are we going to learn something about your character, about Tom's character, in terms of his background? Was he also a superhero? Are we having kind of an evolution of Cyclops into the Sonic
Whoa, a Cyclops reference.
Interesting.
Now you got his attention.
Oh, now I'm listening. Yes. Let's bring him back now, 22 years later.
Metaverse. Everybody exists everywhere,
Right.
I guess.
What is the metaverse? I mean, is it, the
exist
MCU
somewhere.
and what's the Sonic
Are you in
version
the new
of
Doctor
MCU?
Strange movie?
No. I'm not.
Huge exclusive.
So I'm not going to see
I
it.
know, huge exclusive. We're breaking it right here.
I mean, that'd be
And-
cool to see those 2 worlds collide.
Which is
Fun.
crazy, but I'm in the new Doctor Strange movie as your Cyclops.
Ah, okay,
I come in
cool.
as James Marsden's Cyclops.
Mine specifically. that I
Your
played from-
version of
from
Cyclops.
2000,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
not
I
yours.
went to your house and got those glasses and went bananas.
Cool.
Well, that sounds so much fun. I can't wait to see it. I'll keep an eye out for you then. But in the meantime, you, of course, are an improv king, and we love it. And I noticed so many little Easter eggs put in, especially with the worst.
Yeah.
I was dying. What was it like kind of adding in those ad-libs and really kind of forming the character?
Sure. So for me, one of the things that I really love about Toby and Jeff is they let me play quite a bit in that booth, because they do all the hard part with James, and all those guys nail it, and they're in front of the camera, and they only have a certain amount of days. But for me, we can record as much as we want afterwards, because it's just my voice and we animate to that voice. So I did about like 20 different records, and anytime we see dead air or any space, we try to punch it up to be as funny as we can. And there are little references to like old roles I've done. There's references to a Parks and Recreation a character, and then there's a lot of video game references throughout. One of the other things I like to do with Sonic is put 90s movies references all throughout the movie, because the game came out then. And in my head, when Sonic was trapped in that cave in the first one, which you just saw, all he had were those old videos and stuff like that. So that's the stuff in my head he's like filled with American knowledge for. So it's been amazing, and I'm so thankful that they let me play and joke around, because I think it brings, it brings a little bit of a edge to Sonic. It makes the comedy a little bit more exciting.
Sharper, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so they let me kind of bring a little bit of myself to it, which is very exciting.
Stacey, we're
it
going to
is
have to wrap it up there.
Yep. Wrapping up now. It's a 90s kid dream, and I can't wait to see it. So
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for talking to me about it. So our next guests need no introduction. They're literally out of this world. Say hello to Sonic the Hedgehog and his new buddy Tails. How does it feel to be back at Sonic with a brand new movie?
Please, I'm going by Blue Justice now, trademark pending.
And this is Tails. He's a double threat, fluffy and adorable.
He's very cute. And what do you bring to the table, Tails?
I'm so nervous, Sonic. I've never been on camera before.
You're doing great, buddy. Show him what you can do. Pretty cool, right?
That is so cool. Now, how is this film different from the first one?
It is bigger and better in every way.
And I'm in it.
There's more action, more adventure, and since I have an agent now, there are perks. I have 4 words for you. Contractual chili dog breaks.
Now, those are 4 words that I like. Now, tell us about the new guy in town, Knuckles. He's new to this movie. What's he like?
Well, he plays an echidna warrior sent to destroy me at any cost. And between us, I like to improv, keeping things loose. Knuckles goes method. And between takes, it gets weird.
Well, we have him in studio today. Knuckles, do you have anything you want to say?
I do not.
See, that's more than we usually get out of him.
Knuckles, how are you enjoying your visit to Earth? What's your favorite thing here?
Your society is full of soft and undisciplined weaklings. However, I do enjoy the planet's grapes. The grapes are delicious.
Sonic, tell us how it feels to save the world.
Amazing. The kind of thing that only comes around once in a lifetime. Or twice. Maybe a third time if enough people watch the second time.
Well, I certainly hope they will. Now, between you and Tails, who is better at video games?
Me? Tails tends to die a lot and then fly back in a few moments later.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I know you only have a few seconds left, but before you go, any chance I could get a quick selfie?
Absolutely.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.